Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Iralyn and today's video is going to be my February 2025 TBR. So I've never filmed a whole video dedicated to my TBR, and I know most people when they do the TBRs, it's like a TBR jar and they have the whole cart, but I really do not buy physical books. So if you utilize your Libby, your Hoopla, your Spotify, all of your free resources, you really don't need to buy books. A lot of the books I'm going to be sharing today are all books I've either gotten from the library, I have on hold on my Libby, and there's a few that are newer releases. Usually I can get them pretty quick. But yeah, most of them I already have on my Kindle downloaded. I have a couple physical books. There are a couple new releases that I just ended up getting for my birthday or I plan on buying. But for the most part, I utilize my resources. And if you want a video on how to most effectively utilize resources, free resources, to get the most out of reading without having to spend so much money on books, let me know because I'm happy to make that video. But I've always wanted to do one of these TBR videos because I'm a bookish gal. I love watching these videos. And honestly, the main thing that stopped me was I don't have a huge physical TBR. And obviously it's very cool and aesthetic to have the whole cart behind you and you're picking from it. I think I could still probably find a way to do the TBR prompts based on putting books on hold or just books available to me at the library and still do it in a cost-effective way. I don't need to be spending tons of money on books. But if I start getting book PR, obviously I would love a physical TBR. But anyways, all of that said, let's get into everything I have on my February 2025 TBR. Okay, we're going to start off with some new releases that have either come out this year or coming out soon. So, of course, we're going to start off strong. This is one book that I do have the physical book that I got for my birthday, which is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. I did get the deluxe edition with the fun sprayed edges. It's a gorgeous book. I love it. I got into fantasy from the Empyrean series with Fourth Wing, so I was really excited that I liked that. I got immersed into the fantasy world. So I've read Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, but now I feel like it's been so long and I just need to I don't know, I need a recap video or something because I can't commit to rereading those books and Onyx Storm in a timely fashion that would allow me to not see spoilers. I already see random articles online and I'm like, no, this content is not for me yet. I've got a whole book to read. So super excited for this. This is definitely going on my February TBR. I feel like we were left with such a cliffhanger. And Rebecca Yarros, come save the day because I'm so excited for this book. So this is number one, definitely top of the list for February's reads. So next on my list is another new release. I don't know if I'll get to it because I don't know where I'm at in line on this hold, but my next new release I'm excited for is Rebel Witch by Kristen Cicerelli. So I read the first book, which was The Heartless Hunter, and that's the first book in the series, and I really enjoyed it. I want to say maybe it was a book club book for my hometown friends. I can't quite remember, but really enjoyed that book. So I'm excited for this new release coming out, I believe, in a few days. So we'll see where I land on that one. Honestly, I need to check if my local library has the physical copy because I do utilize both physical copies at my local library branch and then libraries that I'm connected with on my Libby. So next on my TBR, this is a physical book I have. It's due to the library in honestly 2 days, so probably won't get to it, but I do want to read this book, which is Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I have heard a lot of talk about this book. I've heard a lot of people like it. I've never read a Sally Rooney book, so I know she's a pretty well-known author, and I know that this book talks a lot about grief, and it's the dynamic between these two brothers. So I did start this one on my Kindle, but the words, my brain was mush, and I was 2 pages in, not quite comprehending what was happening. So TBD if this one actually gets put on or even gets read, but I do have the book with me. I don't think I can renew it, so I don't know how quickly I can get through this one. Next up on my TBR, this is another library checkout, is Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. So I've actually only ever read one other Ali Hazelwood book, and that was Bride. And I know, like, if you're into books, like, that is not the Ali Hazelwood book to start off on. But it just so happens that's the one I was on. And I did like it, but I definitely was like, what is this book? I don't think it's the best one to start off with if you're wanting to get into the Ali Hazelwood world, but I have heard things about this one. I don't think this is one of her like most popular ones either. I know people say to start with Love Theoretically or Love on the Brain. I think that's the other one. But here we are. So this is one that I have, and I just thought the pink cover, I saw it at the library in the new releases section, even though this is probably like a year or so old, and I just thought the pink was fun, and it was giving Valentine's Day. So not that I'm a huge lover of romance books, but I can get behind them occasionally. That concludes my physical TBR. Another book that's on my TBR for February is The Favorites by Lynn Fargo. This is actually a book me and my friend are reading for our virtual book club. So, world, they were a scandal to each other, an obsession, an epic love story set in the sparkling savage sphere of elite figure skating about a woman determined to carve her own path on and off the ice. She might not have a famous name, funding, or her family support, but Katrina Shaw has always known that she was destined to become an Olympic skater. It has pretty high ratings on Goodreads, and I've also heard a lot about it in the book sphere, the book world, and it just came out in January. So also kind of a newer release that I'm excited for, and it's our book club pick for February. So, and then some other options that I also have downloaded either through Libby or just have access to. One of the books is The House on the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I've actually had this on my list forever, and I've heard a lot of talk about it, people like online and also people in my real life. So definitely one that's intriguing. I believe this book basically takes place like at an orphanage, and it's this guy who comes in to check on the children. I could be totally off base, but I'm pretty sure that's the vibe. The cover is giving a series of unfortunate events. So that's kind of what drew me in. I used to read those books when I was like in school. Oh, this is book 1 in the series. Interesting. Okay, so this one takes place on a magical island, and there is this caseworker who basically goes out to oversee the well-being of children in government-sanctioned orphanages. Okay, yeah, I was right. Those are all of the Kindle or physical books I plan on reading in February, and I honestly probably won't get to every single one of them, but I like to have options, so those are the books I'm going to be choosing from in February. We'll do a recap in March and see how far I actually get. And then finally, an audiobook that I've been wanting to listen to. I like to have at least one nonfiction book going throughout the month, so the one that I've been eyeing, and I've heard a lot about it recently, is Ina Garten's memoir, Be Ready. And honestly, I've heard so many good things, and like people are feeling so inspired by by Ina. So this is Be Ready When the Luck Happens, a memoir by Ina Garten, you know, the barefoot Contessa herself. And recently I saw a lot of people talking about it and just making TikToks and being like, I feel so inspired by Ina, so I think I should give that one a try. So those are some of the books, so we can do a quick recap and run through of all the books I plan to read throughout the month of February, which are Rebel Witch by Kristen Cicerelli, Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros, Intermezzo by Sally Rooney, Not in Love, Ali Hazelwood, The Favorites by Lynn Fargo, The House on the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, and The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer, and finally wrapping it up strong with Be Ready When the Luck Happens, a memoir by Ina Garten. And those are the books that I plan to read in the month of February. Let me know what you guys plan to read. And if you made it this far in the video, leave the teddy bear emoji because I want to know what you guys are reading and if you made it this far. So thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your teddy bear emoji. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.